However, there's still water in that gas cock, so I'm going to go and get my wet vac and suck the water out of it before I put the gas valve back on and put the gas on, because I don't want any water to flood the gas line or the gas valve or anything. I don't want to cause any more problems. This is meant to be a straightforward in and out job. It never is, but we've got this bit done. Now I just need to make sure there's no water in the gas cock or in the gas line, and then we can just get this fired up and get it all back up and running again. Right, welcome to today's job. So I'm going to be taking out this vented cylinder system. So this whole flat is electric only, so it's all storage heaters here. Oh, 1 second, I've got a call coming in. I'll get that in a minute. But yeah, I'm just in the process of draining this down. Well, I tried to drain it down, but the drain off doesn't work. So there's a shower pump here, which also needs linking out. But these panels are going to have to be, some of the tiles are going to have to be broken in order to get access to the shower pump, which is underneath here. I've had the water on, so the shower pump's been draining everything out of here. And now that it's stopped draining, I'm going to siphon out the water from the top of the cylinder, because yeah, that's all stopped now. Yeah, so it's drained out as much as it can. So now let's get the hose on the top of the cylinder, crack the top nut, and then we can get this siphoned out. It's not a big cylinder, so hopefully it shouldn't take too long. The new thermal store should be on its way, should be here in about half an hour, so it'll be enough time for me to get this drained out, get it out, and then hopefully by that time we can get that one in and start piping it up. Okay, so the tank is half cut out so that we can get it out of here, and also gives us a chance, where's my light, to get rid of the rest of the water that's in the bottom there. So it's already below the levels of the outlets there, so I might see if I can now just tip it backwards and lift it out. But yeah, look at all that scale sitting on the bottom. That is still siphoning as well, so we've got that siphoning into the bathtub. So once we've got this out, hopefully this will be empty enough, even if it's not fully empty, hopefully it'll be empty enough for us to lift it out and take it downstairs. The new cylinder has arrived, so that's just there in the hallway at the moment. So once we get this and this out, bring the new cylinder in, we've got a 15 mil cold feed coming up, so I'm going to upgrade that to 22 as low as I can. Link it into, that was the other cold feed going to the rest of the property, so we're going to link that into there. And then obviously we've got the hot supply, so we'll link the new advanced appliances thermal store into the hot supply as well. Got a couple of lever valves, got a scale reducer and all that stuff to put on as well, so just to make sure that the new cylinder and the new water supply is going to be as efficient as possible. Obviously whenever you're installing a thermal store, you need to make sure that you add central heating inhibitor into the cylinder, because that water doesn't go anywhere, it stays there. You need to make sure that it's being protected and it's not going to corrode from the inside out. So yeah, we are making decent progress. Right, cylinder is all out. Luckily the two bits of wood that run here weren't screwed down or anything, so they just lifted off. Yep. So now we've got here our 15 mil cold feed. So I'm literally going to cut that there, put a reducer on there, bring that round to here, put a lever valve, so we've got a point of isolation here. Then T, go back into there, so that's going to be our cold feed to the rest of the property. Then the other T is going to come around here and then go into the cylinder. The cylinder's got its own lever valve on it as well. And then the hot draw off, we'll just cut this where we'll need to cut it and then just connect straight back onto there. So it should be pretty straightforward. I reckon once I've cut this low, I'll probably bring this hot feed out here this way. So then on the cylinder, it's not a top hot connection, it's on the side. So I can bring it out round, because it's going to come through the blending valve, and then we can see how low it is and then connect that straight onto there. Got the overflow as well. So yeah, let's just start cutting this out, get the new cylinder in and get it all piped up. Right, the thermal store is all piped up, so cold is now going into there, coming out there, hot's going around back there, so everything is linked out and connected. But now I need to have a look underneath here at this shower pump, so I need to see what I can do with these connections. As you can see, there's not a great deal of space, so I'm probably going to have to reuse the two flexies. I think use those to connect back onto the plastic pipe. Let me see what I can do here, and then we'll try and figure something out. But yeah, other than that, it's all done. The water's back on, but I haven't turned on that lever valve to the store because obviously I still need to sort out this stuff here. So let me see what I can do here, then we'll go from there. Right, we are done the overflow. Electrical connections is on. That is starting to rise already. So that was a couple of degrees below 20. Now it's already at 20 and it's starting to rise. So I've got that on so that it starts warming up. Under the bath was an absolute nightmare. I'll show you in a minute. I'm just going to have a little clear up and then I'll show you what we have to do underneath. But let's just say I lost about 2 or 3 hours just trying to sort out the connections under the bath because the flexi kept leaking and then I couldn't actually get the push fit connection off. I think there's a lot of dust on the screen. Couldn't get the push fit connection off of the pipe coming out the back. So I ended up having to get the multi-tool in there and cutting it off. I tried loads of different things and it just wasn't having it. So I'll show you how it looks in a minute. Right, so under the bath, I don't know how clearly it's going to be able to see it, but basically that flexi connection at the back, this whole flexi thing that I've done, I could not get the old flexi off the back there and I ended up having to cut it off with the multi-tool. But yeah, that's how that's been linked out under the bath. Pressure or flow rate even much better than what it was. It was off gravity before. But yeah, would have been done about 3-4 hours ago, but yeah, nightmare. But anyway, it's done now. I'm out of here. Happy Friday. Right, this job's come for Instagram, so I've got to replace this flush valve. So I've got myself Fluidmaster Pro one. Looks like they've already changed the Fluidmaster filter and flush valve, so I'm just going to replace the inlet valve here. It's already been isolated there. It's on a flexi, so this should be pretty straightforward. Right, that's all done. I actually had to go to the shop and get a new flexi because, well, there's the old fibre washer. That was knackered inside it and I didn't have a fibre washer that fitted the inner holes of the old flexi. So I didn't have a flexi on the van, so I had to quickly pop down to the shop to get one. But there we go. That's all done. Let's go on to the next one. Got ourselves an ECA. Now, I came here, today's Monday, I came here on Friday. This boiler's been leaking. And I found the leak inside was coming from the flow turbine adapter. There was a small hairline crack on the plastic. So I've got a new one with me this morning and literally just going to isolate the cold main under the boiler. Which way does that turn? Once I can get it to turn off. There we go. Right. Coil's been isolated. I'm just going to open up a hot tap to relieve the pressure, crack this flow turbine out and get it replaced. So the case off, you can see a little bit more clearly. So I did struggle initially to find where it was coming from, but when I popped off the flow turbine sensor, you can see it was all wet on the inside of that clip there. And I've obviously isolated the water now, but when the water was on, you can see a very small stream just coming from the top of that black plastic housing. And I did try in my van, an 18mm socket will fit on the end of this, but obviously I'm not going to be able to get the socket around from there, so I'm just going to use a pair of grips to wind this out. and then pop the new one in, because otherwise I'm going to have to remove the gas valve just so I can get a socket onto it, which really isn't worth the ag or the effort. So let's just get a pair of grips on it. Let's crack that open, wind it out, get it replaced, and then get onto the next one. Okay, so the new turbine adapter is in. That's a 17mm socket on the end of there. That's the old one. When I tried to get it out, I've just put a set of grips on it. You can see it literally just cracked. So that's out now, and I did actually have to take the gas valve out, because once you unwind that, that's going to hit the gas valve. So yeah, you need to take it out regardless. But the mistake I made was I didn't realize there was still water coming out of there, and some of it has gone into the gas cock itself, even though it's isolated. But luckily what I did, I had the narrow adverser funnel, and I've sort of put that straight over the gas cock there, so it is diverting the water into the plumb tub. However, there's still water in that gas cock, so I'm going to go and get my wet vac and suck the water out of it before I put the gas valve back on and put the gas on, because I don't want any water to flood the gas line or the gas valve or anything. I don't want to cause any more problems. This is meant to be a straightforward in and out job. It never is, but we've got this bit done. Now I just need to make sure there's no water in the gas cock or in the gas line, and then we can just get this fired up and get it all back up and running again. So yeah, just taken off the gas valve itself, or the gas cock, whatever you want to call it. Got Hussein, who's giving me a hand today, to go downstairs and just turn on the gas for 5 seconds just to make sure there's no water that actually went down there, which luckily there wasn't. It's just blasted it all out. It's just gas coming through there. Dried this out, got rid of this fiber washer because that's wet. I don't want any moisture going back into this. So got another 3/4 inch fiber washer, so I'll pop that on here, get the gas cock back on there, pop it all back in there, 26.9 checks, make sure everything's good. The water's back on. There's no leak from that turbine, which is good. So yeah, once this is back in, 26.9 checks, and we can get out of here. Right, just running a hot tap now. There we go, got flame on. That's a good sign. It means there's no water in the gas line, which is not what we want. Yeah, that's all done. Happy with that? Job done.